Hi, welcome to Miss Music, or welcome back again if you've stopped by before. On this channel, normally I'm looking at music that may have passed you by, but there's a lot of music that's passed me by, and it's great when people suggest things for me to listen to. So first of all, a really big thank you to David, who recommended the album that I'm going to have a look at on this video. I must admit that Hawkwind is one of those bands that I know of, but I've never listened to. In fact, I think there's only one track I know of Hawkwind's, and that's Silver Machine. Why is this? Well, because growing up there was no streaming and records were expensive, and my parents often bought them for me until I got a Saturday job. And I could buy maybe 2 albums a month if I was lucky. So it was difficult to take a chance on a band. And as a teenager, I was very much influenced by friends and an uncle who had a very extensive vinyl collection. But Hawkwind didn't feature in their record collection. So, that's why the band has passed me by. The funny thing is that although I have never listened to them, I was certain I knew what they would sound like. And I guess that comes from knowing some of the music of Motorhead. So before I listened to Warriors on the Edge of Time, I believed, and very wrongly as it turns out, that Hawkwind was a heavy metal band. Going on the basis of Warriors, I could not have been more wrong. Now, normally on this channel, I would give 3 reasons why I think you should listen to an album, but I'm really not familiar enough with Hawkwind and their music to do that. So here are my impressions of Warriors at the Edge of Time. If you know the album and the band, what do you think? Is this album representative of their music? Or is it an oddity? Are they really a heavy metal band? Is this one of your favorites? Do subscribe to join in the discussion, and don't forget to hit the like button below. So I guess if I was coming up with a word for this album, it would be spaced. It's definitely not a heavy metal album. Rather, it reminded me more of those early Pink Floyd albums with Syd Barrett. It was kind of hard trying to figure out how this music would be classified. There are many kind of experimental elements to this band, and much more than I was expecting. How is it that Lemmy was in this band? It doesn't make much sense to me. I guess you would call this psychedelic or space rock. Any suggestions you have would be appreciated. But I can see how this band has shaped and influenced other bands. I would be surprised if the Flaming Lips and bands like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard were not influenced by Hawkwind. This is an album that definitely made me want to listen to more. Now, number 2 may seem a bit unfair. This is a band I think that are doing their best, and I may be committing sacrilege here if you're a fan of the band, but Hawkwind doesn't seem to me to be made up of the very best musicians out there. I mean, when you take a band like Pink Floyd became so skilled they could really create whatever they wanted through music. And I don't feel like that with Hawkwind. But as I say, this is from listening to only one album. Nevertheless, they do great things with the talent they have. After a few listens, I became very attached to one of the tracks. And this track will definitely be added to my playlist. The Demented Man is really haunting. It's very introspective, and it's kind of one of those tracks that could have only come out of the 70s. So, third reason is This album is so atmospheric. If you got this far in the video and you grew up, thank you for listening this far. If you got this far and you grew up with the band, I really want to know your input. I was in two minds about including the track Motorhead. It's a track I know kind of from the Primal Scream cover, but it's also a track that doesn't, for me anyway, doesn't seem to fit well on this album. What I want to know is, what was it like listening to this album for the first time in 1975? And have you seen these tracks performed live? For example, I can imagine that the track Opa-Loka was much heightened in a live performance, and maybe more so if you'd taken something. It's one of those very atmospheric tracks that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it would work much, much better. It's already a good song, but I think it would work much, much better if you were high. So once again, a big thanks to David who recommended this album. It was really great to discover that Hawkwind was not the band I once thought they were. And I've really enjoyed listening to Warriors on the Edge of Time, and I'm going to listen to it a few more times and try and get into some more Hawkwind. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe or hit that like button, and see you on the next video.